to this edition of CresTV. My guest this week is Luke Angel from the University of Queensland. Welcome, Luke.
Welcome, Stuart. How are you?
I'm very well. So, for those who don't know, how big is UQ? How many spaces? And tell us a little bit about it.
UQ've got around 50,000 students, give or take. We've got 300 teaching spaces that are equipped for dual mode teaching now. But that's also further expanded. We've got over 1,200 rooms that have AV equipment.
Perhaps you could explain, first of all, what it is you were trying to overcome. What were you trying to achieve?
I guess when we first started down the path of revisiting how we did AV overall, we wanted to, and I come from an IT background originally, so I was really looking to take a more IT world-centric view of what we were doing and look at kind of leveraging many of the things that IT have been doing for years. The aim, I guess, was to make the AV control service something delivered more in the vein of email. So, highly available, minimal downtime, capabilities of adding features and things to people without them noticing almost. So making it a service that they simply just use, not a room by room individual scenario.
And so that's a totally different infrastructure and mindset, right? So how did you go about that?
So we reached out to multiple vendors initially, kind of explored the market.
Yep. So you're using virtual control, Crestron's virtual control, to control all spaces, or does it matter what size the spaces are? How's that working out?
So fundamentally now all spaces. So we're looking at about 170 rooms as we sit here and speak right now.
Yep.
Out of that 1,200, obviously takes considerable time to get around to all rooms.
So my understanding is you're using Crestron's virtual control and some NVX and our cloud technology, and also partnering with Paul Uchucci's Innomate solutions as well. What does that technology allow your team to do? What's making it a lot easier?
You're never going to have that magic always on scenario, but through using those, I guess that is your base tool, and that whole concept, we've been able to build something that is, it's server based, it's capable of failing over, as close to instantaneously as we can with no end user interference whatsoever. And overall, what we've already seen from the support team is that they receive far less calls and failures from those spaces that we've converted over. So it's led us to a further push to continue that move in the next short period of time.
So it's almost close to instantaneous full redundancy program you've put together. What about the deployment of new rooms and whatever? Is that something that's what you're using the cloud technology for, and is that faster, or what's the benefits?
The way we have done this now, it's similar in some veins, but it's all web-based. So it's driven by a UI that essentially anybody can use within reason, but obviously that's the intent. It doesn't need a programmer to sit down and write lines of code and be doing things and kind of have that in-depth knowledge to do that. So we contract out our installation work. So we're now at a point where we can essentially do our own design of a space, have the contractor turn up, install the equipment, deploy what is the software to the room, and walk out the door having completed a checklist, knowing that everything is fully functional.
Massive improvement. And I assume you report into some sort of IT channel, Luke, and now we're, I guess, talking the same language?
Yeah, so our group, which is part of AV projects or AV integration, as a small teams, we report into what is the customer support services area of the university, and then to the CIO. Many of the things we talk about now are in the wheelhouse of our infrastructure teams and the like. We've had great involvement with those guys as we've built the solution. So whilst it's been an initiative with both Crestron and Innomate to get this going, we've kind of worked more in a partnership model by adding expertise that the university has around things like AWS Cloud and the like. So we've been able to build that together with them to reach the point where we've got to.
That's brilliant. And last but not least, Luke, feedback from those customers you mentioned. What are the lecturers and whatnot? Have they noticed a change?
Probably the simplest answer to that question is we are pushing forward with deploying it to the remaining teaching spaces for semester 1, 2021. And the way that decision's been reached is we essentially trialled it in a new building that was delivered for semester 2 recently. The feedback's been nothing but positive. It's very much simplified how we've delivered dual mode teaching, which has obviously become a big thing post-COVID.
Oh, it's fantastic. Congratulations. It's been a big project, but obviously some huge benefits. So thanks for joining us, Luke.
No problems.
And thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of CresTV.